But there are hand-ups. And then, my friends, then there's the CBC. Oh, my goodness. Every single time. It feels like every time they're in the press, they are serving up more evidence in the case against their very existence. And I give you their equity hiring goals. This is the news. And you're going to love this. If you haven't heard this yet, just be prepared to pick your jaw up off the ground. Because just when you thought they could not plumb the depths of more dysfunctional DEI, this is what you get. The CBC far exceeded its equity hiring goals. Now, what do you think equity hiring goals are? Mike, what would you think a good target for gender equity would be at the CBC? Probably reflective of the population of the country, right?
You would think so.
Okay,
yeah,
so
if you have the population, the percentage-wise.
Yeah, so go look for me. What is the population of the country that's non-white? Can you Google that?
Yes.
Okay, that's because that's what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to decenter ourselves from whiteness. That's the goal of the CBC and their hiring practices. Got to make sure that people like me don't take up any oxygen, and it is more reflective. You can't be what you can't see. That's what I was told years ago. That's what I supported. Of course, little kids of all races should be able to see themselves reflected back on the screens that they have.
So the 2021 census shows that 70% of Canadians reported being white only.
Okay, so I have to assume that's gone down since then. But let's stick with that number, 70%. So 30%. So 30% of the workforce should be that. So explain to me how last year they far exceeded their equity hiring goals with 84% of new hires identifying as Indigenous, racialized, or person with disabilities. Their target was 65%.
The target was way high.
And they said that this was as part of an effort to reflect contemporary Canada. Jesus H. You think that having a CBC made up 84% of Indigenous, racialized, or persons with disability is reflective of the country? I said it earlier today. It's reflective of a downtown Toronto TTC stop, like a subway stop in Toronto.
Which is near the CBC headquarters.
That's exactly what, because that's the world they know. Zoom out to the rest of the country. You tell me if that's what Saskatchewan looks like. You tell me if that's what the BC interior looks like. If that's what Montreal looks like. If that's what the Atlantic provinces look like. Who the hell do you think you are? Who the hell do you think you are? And let's just go back to the hiring itself. Because apparently they're having a tough time filling those roles. God, it was really tough to find people. You think? You think it was hard? When you swim in a pool that's 1 inch deep, you're not going to find a lot of talent or as much as you need. Not to say that some of the people who got these jobs aren't deserving, but can you honestly tell me that by excising the vast majority of candidates, you are swimming in a pool of the most talented people? No, you're not. And to suggest it is to lie to the face of Canadians. And that's why people don't trust media. That's why people don't trust the CBC, because you lie about things like this. This is... Oh, God.
And then you get Travis Danraj, who was in there, and he thought, okay, this is an opportunity for him to have a show, be able to talk to different people, and they shut him down, which his lawyer and he are now saying, so all of these things that they say, it's performative. Of
course. And what irritates me is a couple of things. One, we all pay our taxes into the CBC, whether you're white or not. But if there's 70% of the population identifies as white, then a lot of the money you're getting is from people that you are denying employment to. And that's got to be against the law. That's got to be against the law. We've heard stories of white journalists looking for jobs, applying to the only place hiring, because everybody else is trying to do more with less, because everybody else is tightening their belt. Not so at the CBC, where they've got money coming out their ears. So they're the only ones hiring, and who are they hiring? Anyone who doesn't look like me. But there's a lot of journalists in this country who look like me, who are great at their jobs, who've been working their asses off. They deserve a shot. And you know what some of them have told me? I have one friend who told me that he actually was considering putting down, checking the box, bisexual, if that meant that he had a better chance of getting a job. Make that make sense. How is that inclusive, CBC? Heads should... I guarantee you they are looking at this and they are celebrating. The CBC exceeded its equity hiring goals, well above its 65% target. The hubris, the tone-deaf, living in a bubble, privileged nonsense that is governing this storied institution to telling Canadian stories to Canadians. Give me a goddamn break. Get off your friggin' high horse and get back to basics. And if you're not going to do that, shutter the goddamn thing and start again. It's offensive. That's all I have to say about that. We're going to end it right there.
I don't think there's anything else needs to be said about that.
Jesus Christ. No. Up next, the Bank of Canada says Canadians should accept a lower standard of living. My God, the hits just keep on coming.